My name is Burkey and welcome to my YouTube channel. In case you are new here, I'm a young adult fiction author, and as you might have already noticed from the title and the thumbnail, today I'm going to be sharing my unpopular opinions about cheerleading. Now, this is something I've recently seen pop up a lot on Twitter, but even before that, Brooke Noel, who is a fellow YouTuber for cheer stuff, she did this video, and that was actually the first time I really heard about this idea. And if you guys haven't watched her video, go back and watch it. If you aren't subscribed to her, go subscribe. She's amazing. But when her video came out, I watched it, and there were definitely things that I agreed with, things that I didn't agree with. But I really didn't feel like I was super opinionated. And in the past couple of days, though, I've definitely seen some stuff popping up online. And I realized I do have some pretty strong opinions about different stuff. And whether my opinions are unpopular or just maybe not as known, I guess. Either way, I wanted to share them with you guys, and to kind of kick it off, I picked 5 that I feel really strongly about, and there's probably some other ones as well, so if you guys enjoy this video and want me to do a follow-up, like a part 2, let me know. But for today, I'm going to pick 5 things, and these are 5 things that are my unpopular opinions about cheerleading. I obviously know some people are going to agree or disagree. If you do, that's fine. I would love to have conversations about it in the comment section. Just make sure your comments are civil and are said with respect. I've had some people making some comments lately on some of my videos that weren't very kind towards each other, towards me, things like that. So just be aware of your tone or like what you're saying and how you're saying it. And because if people are kind of abusing that, like I will delete those comments and stuff like that. So fair warning. Without further ado though, let's go ahead and jump into my 5 unpopular opinions about cheerleading. So the first one is definitely the one that inspired this video the most, and my unpopular, or maybe not as super represented as it seems it should be, I don't know, my opinion, either way, is that non-tumbling teams do just as much work as teams that tumble. This has been heartbreaking to see the number of people fighting back and forth on this issue. I've seen a lot of people just being really disrespectful to teams that don't tumble. And my whole thing is like, they work hard. It's not like they're just getting out there and, you know, doing level 1 skills. Like they're still doing level 5 stunts and, you know, jumps even and dance. And just the fact that they're not tumbling doesn't mean that they're not talented athletes. And I've especially seen this because I'm friends with Code Black, and this is a team that's non-tumbling, but started the season tumbling. So it's not even like these are athletes that can't tumble, but for whatever reason, whether because they chose to be in that division because it's new, or they realized not as many of their athletes can tumble because they're a little bit older, like I'm not certain. Either way, they have the ability. It's not about talent. It's about choosing to focus on other things. And I think that's really, really cool and really important. And someone actually just brought up the point, like there are some people that are on cheer teams that are like basically only there to tumble, and no one really says anything about them. But all of a sudden you have this new division where they don't tumble and people have a problem. So whether it's because it's just not out there as much or because it really is an unpopular opinion, I really wanted to kick off this video with that like non-tumbling teams do just as much work. They're just as much cheerleaders and athletes. And I think when we choose to fight amongst ourselves and belittle different divisions, I think that is part of what gives cheerleading a bad name. People look at it at the industry and they see people fighting amongst themselves, and it's like, well, you know, they're not even a real sport. This is, again, other people, not me talking. It's like, you know, not only are they like not even a sport, like they clearly can't be because they can't even decide what is and isn't real cheer inside of it. So I don't know. I feel like I've gone down a rabbit hole on this just because I'm very, very strongly opinionated on this one, mostly because, again, Code Black is amazing and wonderful, and like Lady Luck's fantastic and amazing. Like to completely dismiss a division or a team because they don't tumble, I just think is really, really wrong. So yeah, that's my number 1 unpopular opinion. Again, this is definitely the one I feel most strongly about. So they get a little bit different or less whatever from here. But yeah, that's number 1. My second unpopular opinion is I think there should be a D2 Worlds. I know this is one probably most people won't agree on, but I think it is a bummer that we see a D2 Summit where teams of, you know, restricted 5, levels 4 and lower, that they can be celebrated, but the fact that level 5 and 6 is only just everyone, I think it's a disservice to D2 gyms. And I think I feel this way mostly because I'm friends with so many gyms that are smaller and are D2. And I don't know that they necessarily feel that way, but I know I've talked to athletes before and they're like, you know, well, for some gyms, it's not about winning worlds, it's about getting there. But I think that shouldn't have to be enough. You know, like, I don't know. I just think it's not really fair in a lot of ways for these mega gyms to go to Worlds and win every single division every single year. Like, I was looking at it after Worlds last year and saw just how many divisions the top 3 were D1. There's very few D2 that even make it into finals, let alone the top, 3, let alone win. And so I just feel like it would be amazing to have a way for D2 gyms to really be celebrated, because there are some amazing D2 teams and D2 gyms, and I think they get really overlooked, and I would really just love a way to celebrate them. And that's not to say that, like, they're not good enough to compete, but I think, like, there's like different levels just based on gym size and stuff. And the fact that we're willing to split up Summit but not Worlds, I think it's a disservice to D2 Worlds teams that are putting in this work and, just doing just as much on the mat as D1 gyms. They just are in a little bit of a disadvantage size-wise, and what choreographers and different things like that can be brought in, and training and everything like that. So yeah, how about a D2 Worlds or a division that is strictly for D2? I feel like that's maybe what Extra Small was supposed to be about, but it's not, it's not just D2. So I think it'd be really great for there to be something that really does focus on Worlds teams that are just from D2 gyms. All right, I almost didn't include this one because I feel like most people don't agree. In fact, I, in a lot of ways, didn't agree. But when I started thinking about this, I realized that I actually prefer cheer music now that there's not popular music in it. Basically, what that means is now that we have cheer mixes that are completely not songs off the radio or from, like, real artists, I think it's so much better. And part of this is because I listen to cheer music so much more this season. Since I started doing the reaction videos at the start of the season, which unfortunately were at jeopardy of being copyright restricted, so I had to, like, delete those. But because of that, I've been listening to so much more cheer music this season, and I think it's just something so magical. And, like, being at NCA and hearing everyone sing Senior Elite, like, I think that's so much more special than if we were all sitting there singing a song that everyone else knows. Like, these cheer mixes are songs that just cheer people know. If I had, what did I have in my head today? I had sci-fi music in my head, and I was singing it at work the whole day, and, like, none of the kids knew what it was. And there was one girl that I knew if I sang it around, she would know it, and that's, like, so special and cool. And so as much as it's a bummer to, like, not know songs going in, I think it allows those of us that are in the cheer industry to, like, just get more invested into teams, and a song really is special to them. And, like, just case in point, 2 years ago when World Cup Shooting Stars had their Dancing with the Stars theme, there was one of the portions of it, and I can't remember what the exact line was now, but a cheer team at the comp I was at last weekend used it, and I, like, lost my mind for a second. I was like, how dare they use that? That's not their song. Because to me, it's, like, so iconic for World Cup. And I don't know, I just think it's really cool that we have that. And, they're not going to be songs and lyrics and music that you're going to hear on the radio, but I think it makes it really special and cool because it's something, like, that we just have that's our own and is really, really magical. So yeah, again, kind of a weird one, but I like that there's not popular music, and not only because I don't listen to most popular music right now because I'm an old lady. All right, my fourth unpopular opinion is I actually like that the age range for senior teams has moved up. I think it's a good thing that we don't have, 11 and 12-year-olds that are going to be on senior teams. And my biggest reason for that is because it is such an age span to have super young athletes with super old athletes. And not only that, but, like, we've all heard the term, I'm not really a big fan of the fetus flyers, where you have these teensy little tiny girls that are way, way, way younger being flown by these athletes that are, like, 17 and 18 years old and can just chuck them in the air. And, like, yeah, it looks cool, and these are still amazing athletes, but I like it more when they're a little bit older. And a lot of times when I do reaction videos, I'll mention, like, wow, that athlete's really tiny. And, like, if they're, like, 16 and they just happen to be small, then, like, that's awesome. They're clearly meant to be a flyer. But I think, like, pulling someone that should still be on a junior team up to a senior team just because they're tiny isn't necessarily like the best look in a way. I think if you're the best team, you should be able to fly anyone of any size within reason, obviously. So I kind of like, I'm okay with that age grid. And I heard some people making comments on Twitter actually that they were really frustrated. And it was actually Cherita that made the comment. She's like, somebody was like, well, how are athletes going to have to fly, you know, athletes their own age? And Cherita's like, high school cheer can do it. I think you'll be fine. Like, I don't think she quite said it like that, but that was kind of like the general theme, I guess, of what she was saying. And I was dying. I was laughing so hard because it's true. Like, high school cheerleaders aren't flying middle school aged kids. They're flying high schoolers, you know? And so I think for All-Star to be held to that same kind of standard, and also for like the safety of those athletes, I think it's great. So I support it. And I know there's kids out there that are bummed because they can't be on a senior team and now they have to wait even longer. But I think it's one more thing that they can look forward to and hopefully helps them to be even more appreciative when they get to that point. The fifth and final unpopular opinion I have about cheerleading, and this is kind of a weird one, I'll get into it, but I think there should be no filming allowed in the priority viewing area. I know this is a weird one, mostly because I film in that area. I've always, in my vlogging, I've always filmed from that area. I like to put in like 10 and 15 second clips of routines into my vlog to kind of splice up meeting people and doing things. And for me, it's a way to like highlight teams, especially when I'm home in the Pacific Northwest at cheer. But recently I've started to notice that I'm not the only person filming in there. And it's not like an elitist thing of like, only I should film, no one else. Like, no, I just see that every single parent has a GoPro and an iPad and a phone and a this and a that, which is great that they want to remember that moment for their child. But there is something so much more magical when you are surrounded by a group of people cheering that are not filming, that are not trying to hold perfectly still or keep quiet. They're going all out cheering as hard as they can. One of the best teams I've seen for this is actually Idaho Cheer. There are some dads from Idaho Cheer that they have noisemakers and cowbells and they're screaming and jumping. And literally the one guy, I've seen him at a couple comps, I have never heard him have a voice. He's always like hoarse and like just screamed out because he is so invested in what's happening on the stage that he could care less about anything but living in that moment and supporting those kids. And I think that's just really cool. And like, you go to big comps like Worlds and NCAA and you have the whole crowd in the whole arena cheering and screaming for you. But when you're at a comp and maybe you're a smaller team or it's a smaller comp in general, I think having people right in front of the stage that aren't cheering for you but are just watching and taking pictures and videos definitely can affect your performance. And I also had friends at Langley recently that they said they had a comp and one of the coaches said, hey, we're going to have someone specifically film this routine. Everyone just cheer for your kids. We'll make sure you have a video to document this moment. And the parents just went all in cheering and the kids had their best performance of the season. And I think that says a lot. So as much as it would be like an inconvenience to me, I'm all for it because I would rather just live in that moment or like film from elsewhere if it means getting to cheer on and support everyone that's on the mat that much more, because it is truly magical when cheer parents or cheer fans or people in general are all in for a team and they're able to just crush their routine and just kill it. And it's just magic. What can I say? So that is it for my unpopular cheer opinions. Again, this is just 5. I'm sure if I thought about it, I definitely have some more. So if you guys are interested in hearing more of mine, please feel free to write that in the comment section. Also, please agree, disagree, join the conversation. Put it in the comments. Just please be civil and be kind and be aware that everyone has differences of opinions and it shouldn't be a fight to make someone see your side of it, but explaining things is fine. I also this is one thing I like to do with my family sometimes, use emojis. If you say something and people can read into it wrong, add a smiley face emoji because then they'll know that you're not angry. Just a tip. Anyway, this video isn't necessarily supposed to be like a tag, but I definitely have some people that I want to hear from. So I'm choosing to treat it like a tag, and I'm going to tag a few people that I think need to take on this challenge. Up first, I definitely want to challenge Cherita. I think she is going to have some amazing ideas. If you guys don't follow her channel, it's Cheerology. She's amazing. I would love to see some of her unpopular opinions for sure. Also, I want to tag Chase Hammond. He recently started vlogging and starting his YouTube channel up again, and I would love for him to do this video for sure. And then finally, I want to challenge both Logan Logan and Eliant. Mostly Logan though, because he didn't post his NCA vlog that I know he was vlogging. So I want him to do this challenge, and I think it'd be fun to see Eliant do it as well. So anyway, all 4 of those humans do this challenge. Let's see it. I want to hear your thoughts. For now though, if you guys at home enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Again, comment below if you'd like to see a part 2, or if you agree, disagree, whatever. Just keep it civil. Be kind to one another. Just be nice, guys. Just be nice. Finally, make sure you're subscribed to my channel with notifications on. I will actually be posting some reaction videos tomorrow from NCA and UCA, mostly UCA. But I haven't done reactions in a little while, and I'm excited to get back to them just because, like, it's been a minute. So stay tuned for those and lots and lots of other things. Also, tomorrow I am ending my 1K giveaway. It was such a milestone to make here on this channel that I wanted to do a giveaway, and so I'll be doing a live stream tomorrow night right when I get home from work. So if you haven't entered, check back at that video. I'll put the link for it in the description. But make sure you guys enter so you have a chance to win, and stay tuned for that live stream. Have notifications on so you find out as soon as it starts. I'll do the giveaway and then probably like a live Q&A just for fun. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed my unpopular opinions. I can't wait to hear what you guys think as well. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon.